Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Earlier on today, I noticed a couple of media outlets have been talking about the Ring magazine releasing its most recent rankings. Periodically, we have a chat on this channel when one of the sanctioning bodies or the Ring magazine releases rankings that are a little bit sort of off. You might remember we spoke about the IBF when all of a sudden Derek Chisora seemed to be sort of exceptionally high. And, it makes one wonder, right? And of course, with the sanctioning bodies, we know how people get the rankings. You can petition, you attend the conferences, you apply, schmooze, possibly other things, and you can work your way up the rankings without actually having fought anybody. Or sometimes you can just appear. We don't usually say that about the Ring magazine. The Ring magazine, has been, if you like, that sort of honest broker where, you look and think, yeah, that's probably right. Whereas sometimes the sanctioning bodies, you look and you think, that makes no sense at all, right? And of course, some people are not with a certain sanctioning body, so they simply won't appear. But the Ring magazine takes everything into account, and it's you can pretty much rely upon it. Which makes the most recent release a little bit interesting. And I'll just sort of skip through it here and let you know what I think. And in the comment section, you can let me know what you think. And just going to talk about the heavyweights. They've got in at number 10, Fabio Wardley, 18-0-1, 17 by way of. One of my favorite fighters. I don't want to begrudge him being there, but I think that might be a bit generous. And I like Fabio Wardley. Understand. This is, I'm happy for him. But I'm just thinking a tad generous, maybe. Number 9, F.A. Ajagba, 21-1, 14 by way of. Number 8, Martin Bakole, 21-2-1. I would have actually switched them around, personally. And that's really just based on their last fight. I thought Ajagba did enough to win. I think Martin Bakole was lucky to get the draw. And if you go back prior, I would have just swept them around. Not going to fight with anybody about it, but I would have just put Bakole 9 and Ajagba 8, I think. Number 7, Zhile Zhang, 27-3-1, 22 by way of. I guess so. I can't see anybody below him who I would say, oh, well, they're obviously going to beat him, right? So that seems about right. Filip Hrgović, 18-1-0. 14 by way of. His only loss, of course, to Dubois, which arguably, the cuts were caused by head. It should have been. I know. Number 6, he beat Joe Joyce recently. You might think that some of the guys beneath him would beat him. Certainly if I was talking about Wardley and Hrgović. and that would have been interesting. Number 5, Anthony Joshua, 28-4-0, 25 by way of. I don't know where to put AJ right now, to be perfectly honest. Like, I really don't. It seems that we're assuming that the best AJ is still there. And I like AJ. If you've watched this channel at all, you know I'm an AJ supporter. But yeah, I can't say, truly speaking, hand on heart, that he deserves to be lower. I'm just saying I don't know where to put him. I certainly wouldn't put him any higher. But, you know, his last fight against Dubois was terrible. And before that, you know, you've got Francis Ngannou, you've got Otto Wallin. You know where I'm going with this, right? Like, you've got to go back a ways to see AJ be really impressive against somebody who knows how to fight and isn't on their, you know, second professional bout. Anyhow, we don't know. I think AJ's in one of those categories where you can sort of put him over there, right? Because I think there's only one fight for AJ. But anyways. Number 4, Ajit Kabayel, 26-0, 17 by way of. Number 3, Joseph Parker, 36-3, 0 by way of. 24 by way of. I'm getting ahead of myself. They both deserve to be there. You know, if you think of the sort of the top 4 right now, Usyk, Dubois, Parker, Kabayel. Would you put Kabayel ahead of Parker? Hard to say. You could make a case for, you could make a case against. You know, you could say that some of Kabayel's wins are not that great, but you could also say some of Parker's wins are not that great. You know, beating very diminished opponents. And I was saying top 4, right? So now we should only really be talking about the champ and the number 1, right? But that's not how it works. Number 3 is Joseph Parker. Number 2 is Daniel Dubois, the current IBF world champion. 22-2-0, 21 KOs, who's fighting Alexander Usyk, the champion, on July the 19th. So I would have thought that Daniel Dubois, given that he has a strap and that he beat AJ, would have been number 1. And then you would have thought Parker and then Kabayel and then, you know. But Tyson Fury has appeared. Tyson Fury is now number 1 rated by the Ring magazine, which is owned by Turki Al-Sheikh. Tyson Fury 34-2-1, 24 KOs. Why is that? Why is Tyson Fury, who is retired and who is not ranked by others because he is retired, why is he suddenly back in the Ring magazine rankings? And not as number 10 or anything like that, but at number 1. Interesting. I think that pretty much means that he's coming back, that Turki Al-Sheikh has been told he's coming back, and that the Ring magazine is updating it so he can get a fight. But a fight against whom? Does he fight the winner of Usyk Dubois? Does he wait until Usyk wins and then he wants Usyk for a trilogy? But if Dubois wins, then he'll go and take AJ instead because he doesn't want anything to do with Dubois. All sorts of permutations. And as to why he is number 1, I suppose it's all to do with money. The champion ring magazine, of course, is Alexander Usyk, 23-0-0, 14 KOs. And in the eyes of most people, the heavyweight champion of the world. Respect to those who are fans of Dubois. So there we go. Interesting. Very interesting. Tyson Fury, yes, his picture is there. His teeth are bared, and he's the #1 rated by the Ring magazine in their heavyweight ring ratings, updated May the 23rd, 2025. Let me know what you think. And now it's time for me to go back out and do some more chores. I was hoping it might start to rain, because then I could have been busy doing something else, but whatever. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.